I love this. I love this. One of the important things to understand is when you hear Elon Musk and a bunch of people saying, well, the Earth's surface has plenty of land, we could double the population. We're what, close to 9 billion people on planet Earth? We could double that population and it wouldn't be a problem. Well, no, actually, it would be a problem. And the problem would be that your typical family basically fills up 3 cans of trash every week. Now, in our case, in our family, that's not the case. We do like maybe a quarter or a third of each of those 3 trash cans that we have to fill up because we live, for the most part, a little bit like one would if they lived in orbit. We try to be like astronauts living on planet Earth. And I'm gonna get a lot of crap from the vegans out there and the progressives out there and all the people who think they're really environmentalists, which they aren't because they're flying in the private jets weekly or daily, which is not environmentally friendly in any way. They don't want to be vegan. So that doesn't help. Anyway, so yeah, they do a lot of stuff. They pretend they are real environmentalists and they care about the animals, but they don't because if you double the population on planet Earth, what's going to happen is we're already overfishing. So, goodbye fish. And so people will start having to go and eat other things because there's no more fish to be eaten in our entire ecosystems. In the oceans will die out because if there's no more fish, then the other creatures that rely on fish, not just us, will all die out. So what will be left? We'll have land creatures. And now you have double the population that are no longer eating fish, so they're all going to concentrate on eating meats. Right? So those will die out. And then what's going to happen? The vegans that were very happy because they were the only one, and they always have plenty of fruits and vegetables to eat, will now have to compete with the meat eaters who no longer can eat fish or meat. So now they're also eating fruits and vegetables. So those will die out because it's hard to grow those things to begin with, especially since we're not really creating huge, labs and places where we can do hydroponics, which is a much better way of creating and growing crops because you don't have to worry about the other external factors of the weather, right? So, you have a lot of buildings that nobody's going to use anymore as work. Buildings could just be repurposed in growing crops. But we're not doing that because we pretend to be progressives. We pretend, right? We're all pretenders. And so instead of doing that, what's going to happen is we'll run out of fruits. So the only thing that can actually be sustainable is bugs because they grow at rates that are incredible. And so the Earth's population will all be stuck eating bugs. So yeah, technically, yes, we could have double the population, right? We could double the population on Earth that we have right now. There's plenty of land. But then we would force to be eating bugs and all the other ecosystems on planet Earth would die off. And it would be a sad place. And, you remember Tony? Kill Tony? His joke would not be a joke anymore because we would live in piles and piles of trash. Our entire planet would be a big trash pile, and we wouldn't know what to do with it anymore. There would be plastics, rubbers, and other kinds of pollution things in our water, soil, and air, including brake pads, of course, because we won't stop driving our cars. And we won't find ways of reducing the brake pad that is very toxic, by the way, that does produce cancers in people. But we don't talk about that because that's not one of the things that we want to talk about because all cars, including electric cars, produce pollution through the brake pads. But, that's an inconvenient truth, so we can't talk about that one. So, yeah. Yes, yes, Elon, yes. Let's go out and make millions of more babies. Let's double the population. It's fine. Except, would you like to be eating bugs all day? I don't think so. So just because you can doesn't mean you should. Oh boy, we're not even going to talk about, but I did tell you guys, I did tell you that Joe Obama was gonna pardon his son. I told you so. Ah. And also we have to jump in the tariffs situation. The tariffs. Let's talk about tariffs. So tariffs are a stupid way of trying to fix the problems that we have. There are things that are now being made overseas, which will never come back to the US. Let's not be stupid and pretend that they will. And you should watch this video here. David Packran explains it very well why tariffs are stupid. What you want to do instead is, you do want to have some kind of way of going against the other countries that are doing and producing things in non-clean ways, which means our air, our water, and our soil keeps getting polluted. That can slow down the businesses elsewhere, China and other a bunch of places that are not doing things in a safe way for our environment. That's a much better way to slow down their production and perhaps ramp up our own production in the US without making the common man who goes out and buy a product spends so much more money on that product, which really impacts Americans and not so much the other countries. So the biggest scam that I kept talking about, which needs to be addressed, is a bunch of other companies such as China and a bunch of other companies in other countries are building products. And what they do is they sell you a product they haven't even built yet. Then you pay for that product, and then it takes them forever to build that product, ship it out to America, and then finally you get it. So what we should be doing instead of tariffing, the East countries to death is setting up laws whereby they must produce the product, ship it to America, keep it in a warehouse, and they're only allowed to sell it to Americans and ship it out to Americans from a warehouse that is in America. That is the solution. That is the solution that you want, because a lot of these products will never be able to be made in America cheaper than what they are being made in other places. And you can't bring back production to the United States, and nobody is going to buy a product that may be made in future somewhere in America when there isn't one currently right now. Companies need to buy products right now. So if they can't buy it from China, they'll buy it from somewhere else, instead of buying it from an American company that can't really produce it quickly enough. And there's not enough of that product, and so on and so forth, which is what usually happens when you try to start creating products in America that are not ready. You don't even have the factory to build it yet. So you can't solve this problem the way that they think they can, but what you can do is make sure that all the companies worldwide that ship to the US create jobs in America by having warehouses that are in America with American workers that do all the, shipping and handling from here. So you're creating jobs for Americans in America in warehouses and stuff like that. And so this is a good way to get things done. And also, nobody wants to buy a product that takes 3 months to get to their doorstep. So you're really fixing a problem in this case, instead of causing more problems. But, it doesn't matter if they're left, middle, right, up, down, sideways. Politicians are all absolutely useless. And so that's why none of the problems ever get fixed. That's why, because they don't have a single neuron with innovation capabilities in their mind. There isn't one. So, anyway, that's my rant for today. I hope you guys enjoyed this ridiculous video that I made, and I hope to see you soon. Take care.